Loosen up your diapers and get your crotch curling, folks. It's time for another exciting episode of I Played a Thing, Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. Hey, sorry I didn't manage to get a video up last week, folks. I intended to, but I had a little bit of family emergency type chaos. But no fatalities, no casualties, all seems to be well now, so let's go ahead and continue with the game. You may recall last time we finished up with Mr. Beautiful for the moment, and doing that causes a lot of new locations to open up on the DC map that we can use to investigate the other people who were killed on the night of re-entombment by the scrub teams. And there's also Dr. Clean. Why can't I go to the map? There we go. Hell's generally a pretty stable game, but if something doesn't work every once in a while, just try it again. First thing I'm gonna do is talk to Nick Cannon at the Voice of God headquarters, which was mentioned by Gideon. Just have to find the right part of DC. Ah, here it is on the mall. Voice of God is the official radio station of the Hand of God party. And Nick's a buddy of ours, so we'll see if there's been any notable news coming over the airwaves about us.
News reporters of the future have become more plugged into technology than ever before. They are literally plugged into their desks, with headsets that can spool information coming in from field reporters around the country, via telelinks and vidgraphs.
Yeah, fair enough. What about Nick himself?
Nick Cannon is jacked into a news gathering system, a complex telecommunications console that allows Cannon to monitor global information services. Data flows directly into his suit's computer, is sorted and indexed, and then is displayed across a holographic interface before his eyes.
Well, I suppose it's good to know that the media is staying on top of things in 2095. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, Cannon, the world can wait. You got company.
No, wait a second. Is that you, Gideon Ashante? Well, then Rachel Brack must be there also. The news waits for no one. I'll be with you. Now, I'm assigning stories. Let's see. French authorities probe latest report of a hell portal opening. What else? A minor demon named Morax is elected to the Georgia State Assembly. That's it. Download and assign. Hold the rest. Sorry to make you wait. There's too much news streaming over the lines. Too much happening. Hey, speaking of news, what's the buzz with YouTube? Transgressions put out a wire a few nights ago that had you two scrubbed. They don't usually make mistakes about who's dying. Are you two a couple of ghosts?
That's interesting. The official line is that we were killed, not that we escaped.
No mistake, Nick. They wanted us. They just didn't get us this time.
Wire said you two were running virtual pornography with a demon called Mr. Beautiful. I got 2 reporters on it right now, getting details from Transgressions. Planning to run a sidebar on Beautiful.
I don't know if I'd bother. He's kind of a dick.
We got lucky and got the drop on the scrubs that came to do us, but luck won't keep us alive.
Whoa! Something coming over the wire that would have interested you when you were with Art. A gang of kids in Judiciary Square calling themselves the Freak Beats. They're a bunch of 4th-generation deck babies with a serious hate for anyone associated with artificial realities.
Warrens around the square are rife with outlaw techs. They've picked their hunting grounds well.
Yeah, we've been covering their activities. Han likes to report on techs getting scrubbed. Censors pass that stuff through almost without comment. Freak's current rant is that they're drawing a bead on the whereabouts of an Actadec pioneer.
Note about that, because I failed to explain it during the intro. Something that was talked about in the manual that doesn't really get explained properly in the game itself. The Actadec was the first commercial-grade virtual reality game console, and it was very popular, but the problem was it screwed up the genetics of the kids that played with it, and so their children and all their descendants down the line were mutants, often with uncontrollable psionic powers. So that's what Nick's talking about there with the Acta deck and the 4th generation deck babies. The Freak Beats are a total side quest, completely optional, no penalties or rewards for not doing it correctly, but since we're being completionist, I'll probably be heading there next. Moving on.
He's gotta be 1,000 years old by now. I thought they were all dead.
Freaks think he's there. Who cares? The only reason I'm telling you this is because you're going to need a hiding place, and the Warrens are a good place to disappear into. The freaks will like that you were Ark. They might put you up. They sound kind of crazy, but you can't be too picky right now.
By the way, one other thing of importance about the Acta deck, the mutations that it caused were instrumental in turning the public opinion against artificial realities, virtual reality, and so that is a big part of what led to virtual reality being banned. Anything else to say, Nick?
Too much news. Too much news. Even with these machines, it's too much for one person.
Yeah, I feel that way about the internet, too. Anyway, let's go ahead and meet up with the Freak Beats. Maybe they will have a hiding place for us, like Nick suggested. Let's see, where are the Warrens? Here we are, Judiciary Square.
The remains of a holovid and various SimStim games stand in various states of collapse around the hull of this derelict arcade. As old as the place is, though, a lot of the damage seems recently inflicted.
Over here we have a fire extinguisher.
Fire hasn't changed any over the years, nor has the quick means to extinguish it.
And I don't think there's really any use for the fire extinguisher. We'll never actually do anything with it, but there's really no penalty to just shoving everything in your inventory that you can, and we're gonna be a good adventure game protagonist.
Venom seems to leak out of the pores of this kid's acne-ridden face. He's got a buzz cut that makes it look like his hair is standing up out of fear of the noggin below. The only thing betraying the outward sang-froid of this attractive teenager is the fact that her hair appears lifted with a static charge, and the fact that she seems to eat nails for breakfast, her own, which are bitten to the quick.
Well, we didn't get any names there, so if we go to examine, the fella on the left at the arcade machine is Wicked Stick, and on the right is the delightfully named Cyber Schmiber. It's more of Hell's absolutely off-the-wall naming conventions. Let's talk to Wicked Stick.
You friggin' machine! I'm like jacking out of this bitch!
I dislike him already.
You aren't jacked into it, dirtbag. You're in an arcade, not surfing the net.
Rach, this place may not be the ideal hideout. We heard it was. I mean, you think these punks could outwit a scrub team?
I'll say, if these kids had dynamite for brains, they wouldn't be able to blow their nose.
They're with Ark! They're with Ark!
Will you disconnect? They're not Ark. If they were Ark, would be cranked by now.
Wait a minute. That was pretty good, kid. You must have read my mind. You psionic?
Well, they are deck babies.
I'm a lot of things. You better watch your friggin' step. Even if you are with Ark.
We're with Ark. You're good, kid, but you're not perfect. We're on the lam, trying to avoid Ark, just like all of you Generation Experimental kids. I guess that part didn't get through to your receptors.
Generation Experimental. Brilliant, Rachel.
Get cranked, asshole!
Sounds appetizing. Probably a good thing I don't know what that means, punk.
Get cranked. It's not exactly hard to figure out from context, but we will get a little history on it.
You don't know about friggin' Crank Hour?
Well, kid, here's a novel opportunity for you. Enlighten us.
Julius, Crank Hour. He invented the friggin' Actideck.
Is he here?
He's totally dead, man. Crankhour got cranked by freaks just like us. Happened years ago.
If he'd known the Actideck was gonna lead to kids like you, he probably would have killed himself.
Oh, shots fired.
Wait till we get his little employee. His blood's gonna be all over the place.
What are you freaks talking about? Man, these Gen X kids give me such a headache.
We're gonna kill him. That's what.
Who?
Drexler! Oscar friggin' Drexler!
Wicked man, you are really starting to drool. These two morons don't know anything. Drexler used to work for Crankhour at Vesuvius Labs back in the 30s, back in the friggin' Dark Ages. They were making games. Now we're gonna play a little game with Oscar.
I presume she means the 2030s.
Wham! Bam! 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 Oh man, it's gonna be beautiful! We're gonna crank it up! We found out he lives over by Union Station. We got it all planned out. Just a few more hours, we'll be taking him out.
You're gonna murder this guy in cold blood?
Yeah, and if the freaks kicking in the door miss him, two more are gonna be outside his window, flying with low-grav jet boots. He won't even see it coming. Damn freak maker. You two wanna watch? Deal's going down soon.
Wait a minute. You two and the rest of your gang are gonna kill an old man for something he did 60 years ago?
What's that supposed to friggin' mean? You think we can't do it? You think we shouldn't? His damn invention made us freaks. Oh man, I should be the one to kill the old bastard. I wouldn't even need a friggin' weapon.
He's killed people with his friggin' brain.
With mind bullets!
Come on, kid, let's get out of here. I'd rather take my chances on the street. They don't call these kids freaks for nothing.
Okay, when we hear about the planned hit on Oscar Drexler, that opens up a short window in which we can go see him ourselves. If we dally too long, they will kill him. No penalties for letting him get killed, no rewards for that matter for helping him out, but we'll go ahead and do it for completion's sake, but we'll talk to Cyber Schmeiber first.
You got a problem, Scuzzball?
Kid, you're vibrating like a tuning fork. What's wrong with you?
I've heard the freaks had some weird manifestations, but this isn't quite what I anticipated.
What'd you expect? You think we all had two heads or something?
Not exactly.
Oh, look, kid, just relax. The more excited you get, the more you seem to vibrate. Maybe we should talk to somebody else. Where is everybody?
There's a bunch of us around, so watch your freaking step.
Let's move on, Rach. There's something going on around here. The natives are restless.
They certainly are fond of the term friggin'. Alright, let's go find Oscar. Okay. I can never remember where things are around here. Where the hell is it? Ah, here we go. Oh, he lives not too far from Dante.
Small and cramped as it is, the occupant of this attic apartment seems to be pretty relentless about stuffing it with homemade toys and inventive projects.
See, this is kind of why I like to save Oscar, even though there's no particular reason to do so game-wise. He's just the kind of guy who will fill his apartment with little autonomous remote control cars just because he can.
A nervous old man surveys his cluttered apartment that serves as both living space and workshop.
Hey, Oscar, someone's gonna kill you, dude.
So, There really is an old man here. Maybe the freaks are onto something.
What's that? I don't know any stick boy, wicked or otherwise. And don't mention history to me. Can't barge in here talking about history. I'm just an old man down on his luck.
Neat cyber arm, though.
Whatever. Maybe you are just some guy, but there's a gang of deck mutants called the Freak Beats who are convinced that you were Julius Krakauer's right arm, and they're on their way here to get revenge for all their genetic misfortune by killing you.
You know, it's not nice to say right arm to someone who's missing his, Gideon.
Damn it! Damn it to hell all over the place! I was just a punk. A kid. I never even met Julius Krakauer, or even made it inside of Vesuvius's main lab. I didn't design the stuff. It's not my fault the damn machine corrupted the gene pool.
Well, it looks like the Freak Beat's intelligence is a little off. Color me surprised.
We can talk later. The Freak Beats are on the way and they're taking no prisoners. Come on, we'll take you someplace safe.
No, I'm not budging anywhere. You don't know how many times I've outwitted punks like this. Maybe it's time I was caught.
Listen, we've talked to these freaks and they're whacked. This wicked stick kid's got them wilded on getting you. I'm certain they'll try again. You really should go someplace safer, at least temporarily. I'm gonna write down a...
You got a deal.
Oop.
Besides, it'd be nice to have someone to talk to for a while.
I accidentally fast-forwarded a bit of the dialogue there just because it didn't show up in the subtitles, but Gideon is basically redirecting Oscar to Dante's place. Fortunately, Dante's not going to mind too much. Matter of fact, let's head right on over there and see how those two get along.
Oscar Drexler glances over Dante's shoulder.
What'd you say? Oh, time to eat. Oh, good. Them refried beans and pan-fried quails went right to my toes.
I've never been a big fan of refried beans, but pan-fried quails doesn't sound too bad. Hey, Dante, I hope you don't mind we found you a roommate. Actually, he has absolutely nothing to say about it. Okay, fair enough. Alright, back at the interface, Gideon mentioned something about a Dr. Clean, a cyber doctor that we had gone easy on in the past. Might have some ability to help us. And Dr. Clean can be found at the cyber shop over here in McPherson Square.
The full-body surgery seat next to the toolbox on wheels reveals both what goes on in this room and the fact that it can be moved at a moment's notice. It's a cramped, back-alley location, but the technologies for cyber limb and ocular enhancements, although outlawed, have been in use for so long they've become fairly miniaturized.
Interesting. What's this over here?
A fairly long length of copper tubing.
Copper, huh? Well, we are fairly down on our luck. Suppose we can always sell that for scrap. Yoink. and this must be the good doctor.
The woman known only to you as Dr. Clean surveys the mess that was once her illegal pawn shop and surgery.
What happened here, Doc? You never were much of a housekeeper, but man, this is ridiculous.
Technology assessment finally caught up with me. Sent a goon squad over here to do this.
For going by the name Dr. Clean, I have to say I'm a little put off by that apparently blood-stained lab coat. Also, has she been doing surgery with a serrated pizza cutter?
What now? You're not crazy enough to restock, are you?
What's with the questions? You two looking to set me up a second time?
What's that mean? You think we caused this?
Somebody sure as hell punched my ticket.
Not us. We struck a deal with you, and we stick by it. Damn it, we came here to see what you were stalking. We thought maybe you'd have something that could help us. The hands come down on us, too.
Look, I apologize. I know you wouldn't sell me out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Head west? Maybe get my face reconstructed again. New identity and start over. Not that I have much left to start with. Look at that pile of junk there. This Preston tensile picklock's about the only thing I'm certain will work, and that's because I was carrying it on me. Listen, I can use the cash. I'll sell this to you and install it for $6,000. That's a steal, guys. No cutting involved. Simple skin craft. The lockpick folds on itself when not operating. The whole mechanism only weighs half a pound, and you can have the graft removed any time. Nobody'd know you ever had it. What do you say?
Well, if you're going to keep waving that pizza cutter at me like that, I'll pretty much do anything to make you happy.
Stop playing games. You know I run a cash business.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's the small matter of us not actually having $6,000.
Hey, have you given any second thought about this pick lock?
Yes, I still want it.
Stop playing games.
Oh, alright. Okay, so, that puts another goal on our to-do list, get ourselves some money so we can have a lockpick installed. Why we can't just carry it around and have to have it installed under a skin graft, I don't know. I mean, it's not like we're operating in the open as it is. But oh well. Now, this is a part of the game that I kinda hate just because there are so many characters involved and so much dialogue, but we're gonna go ahead to Gang Alley. That is where the Deadly Seven and the Clean Machine hang out, the Clean Machine being the gang that Sophia Benet's daughter Chastity Benet belongs to. So we should be able to come into a little money here, and we can also deal with our standby task of getting Chastity out of the gang. Sophia Benet, if you don't recall, was our forger, and she was agreeing to work for us under the condition that we got Chastity out of the gang life. Upon arrival, we automatically talk to this guy here on the step.
Can I help you with something?
We're investigating a murder victim named Brian Avery. We also want to ask you some questions about Chastity Benet.
Brian Avery was one of the names on the Night of Re-Entombment list, the people who were scrubbed on the same night that the scrub team tried to get Rachel and Gideon. So, yeah, we can also look into his story while we're here.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about a Brian Avery. And Chastity, well, she's been out a lot lately. Sorry.
What about here? You in charge?
Well, you might say that. The others seem to... Well, I guess they've appointed me leader.
Well, how exciting for you. What's going on with you and Chastity?
Well, I don't know if anything's really going on, but I think she's got kind of a crush on Dolph Vanity, the Deadly's leader. The thing is, Chastity's so sweet and naive, she doesn't know what he's really like.
What's your problem with Vanity?
There's no problem. He runs his gang, and I try to lead the cleans, that's all. If he wants to corrupt young people who don't know any better, that's his business. If he wants to
We get you, kid. You don't give a damn.
I'm sorry, it's not that I don't care, it's just that it's not my place to do anything about it. I just try to lead by example. I mean, for instance, if I knew that Dolph Vanity had some terrible secret in his closet, something that might make the Deadleys disown him, well, it just wouldn't be my place to uncover it. I'm just not talented enough to investigate it.
Subtle.
Not like, say, some hard-noses you might come across who are investigating a murder.
Right. I mean, I'm really sorry that I'm not able to because I suspect Dolph's hiding the kind of information that might bring him down, even break up the Deadleys.
Can it, kid? I'm beginning to understand how a wimp like you got to run this outfit. But look, what's in it for us? I mean, if we dig up some dirt on Vanity, that's great for a power-mad little dweeb like you. And it'll probably make Chastity wise up too. Then if she's dumb enough to fall for your act, that's her business. But there's gotta be something in it for us, if we're gonna mess with those psychos across the alley.
Pretty, hostile interrogation there, Gideon.
What? What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I don't understand you.
You understand him, kid. He's saying we'll dig up whatever it is Vanity's hiding if you give us the scoop on Brian Avery. We know you know more about his murder than you're letting on.
I'm sorry. What was his name again? Brian Amory?
Although he is kind of a dick, I suppose a little hostility is understandable.
I'm gonna have to hit him. Let me hit him, Rach.
Get online, killer. Last chance, kid. Avery. The name's Brian Avery.
Oh, Brian! I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood you. Yes, I knew Brian, but I'm not sure I have what you need. I mean, I'd have to think about it, but I'd have time to do that for you while you're, doing what you said you were going to do about Dolph.
Alright, I get the idea.
Sounds like we already got a deal. Come on, Rachel, let's get started before I have to give this kid a real reason to say sorry all the time.
That guy who we were just talking about, that is Christopher Modesta, who, as his name implies, represents modesty. And, Chastity Bene is right here, representing chastity. As you might have guessed, the members of the Clean Machine represent various virtues, while the members of the Deadly Seven represent the Seven Deadly Sins. Let's see what Christopher looks like.
A young man wearing a modest outfit, apparently from the Salvation Army store, although it's color-coordinated and has fresh, meticulously sewn patches.
Anything else to say?
I'm sorry. What was his name again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hit him.
Nothing new there. Chastity, how you doing?
A young woman uneasily eyes the youths on the other side of the alley. She is a collection of nervous tics and gestures as she chain-smokes cigarettes.
What are you looking at? Stop staring at me like that.
We aren't staring at you.
Yeah, right. Like this guy's not just staring at my breasts.
Gideon! Didn't know you were a tit man.
That's not really why we're...
It's not like I don't have a sex drive, or that I'm not attracted to men.
Where's this coming from?
Well, Christopher here tells us that you and the fellow across the street had a thing going.
That would seem like a thing to him. He blushes just shaking a girl's hand. Yeah, Dolph and I went out a few times. Pissed everybody off on both sides of the alley.
Guess it didn't work out.
Same old story for me. Things were about to get hot and heavy, and I couldn't go through with it. Maybe I was lucky. I don't know how any woman could put up with that arrogant S.O.B. Look at him, with his chest thrust out and his nose up in the air. God, but he is good looking.
Yeah, looks like Chastity's a little frustrated by her embodiment of chastity. Yeah, what about them?
Dolph's the leader of the Deadly Seven. They think they're above the law. They think they're too good to obey the hand. That's Blood McGrath next to Dolph. Be careful with Blood. Most of the Deadly Seven are poofs. But he's a killer. He's the only one that scares me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, listen, Gideon. If you want to go out later, I'm a safe date.
Alright, let's have a look at Dolph Vanity here. What a suspiciously appropriate name for the embodiment of pride.
A Botho musclehead reigns supreme over the Deadly Seven's street hangout. He is adept at sneaking frequent glimpses of himself in windows, and finding the excuse to gesture with rippled arms. Simply an arrogant son of a bitch.
Hey, arrogant son of a bitch, how's it hanging?
Well, look what Squeaky Clean Tours just dropped off. On a little vacation to Sin World, folks. Mr. and Ms. America visit the dark side of our urban nation. You guys bring cameras or what? Dolph would make a hell of a slideshow back home to show at the next card club.
I don't know what it is, but something about his voice amuses me.
I guess you put an air hose up somebody's rear end, Gideon, and eventually a bubble's gonna make its way to their brain.
What the hell did that mean?
That's some mouth on that one, mister. Hope she puts it to good use.
What could she possibly see in this guy, Gid?
Don't know. There's always the possibility that she's just not real bright.
Hey, who's not real bright? Who are you talking about?
I don't know, there are probably several people in the immediate area that statement could apply to.
I think you know. And you wouldn't like us to spell it out for you right here, would you?
Yeah, I know who you mean. But keep it down. Any chick that I got something going with, well, that ain't for all my people to know. These guys aren't all about love and shit. They're the edge, man. I come across looking soft in front of the Deadly Seven. My rep will go to hell along with my soul.
Love and shit. You got a real way with words there, Dolph.
Why do you losers keep coming back? Hey, can't you guys, like, take your eyes off me or what?
His veins strain even in repose, although repose is most decidedly not his natural state, or even a place he's visited very often.
And Blood McGrath. I suppose, if your parents name you Blood, you're going to naturally become the embodiment of, well, wrath.
Don't even come close to me, man. Don't even think about it. I hate it when people get too friggin' close to me. I wanna just take them out, just like I'm gonna do with the friggin' clean machine. I mean, I wanna blow them to kingdom freaking come.
Easy, Gid. This guy's like nitroglycerin. You don't want to rattle him.
I don't know how to break this to you, Rach, but the guy appears to be rattled already.
That's another thing I friggin' hate whispering. The only friggin' quiet I like is the moment of silence right before ignition.
I think he's a little hard of hearing.
There's nothing wrong with my friggin' hearing, you dumb shits.
We'd like to ask you a few questions.
I knew it, I friggin' knew it. You two have that look that says friggin' enforcement, man, or Revo squad or some shit like that, man. I hate that when I see it on somebody.
You know, it's guys like this that give us professional, hard-working bombers a bad name. You two go ahead and let me stay behind and give this guy a little personalized lesson. I mean, he's gonna blow himself up someday. I just know this kind of guy. He's gonna want to taste it. I know it. So why make him wait? I could do it all for him now.
No, Senna. We don't operate that way.
Yes, we do. I mean, we could.
Believe me, I'd like to. But like you say, he'll buy it someday. Let's just hope he's by himself. Come on, we've got to keep moving.
Look, kid, just tell us what you know about Brian Avery.
And leave all this sick, evil shit out.
Oh, but I like the sick, evil shit.
Watch it, asshole. I could stick a flyweight filter demo on you and you'd never know it. Delayed motion timer. You'd blow up just walking down the street. Nobody's innocent, man.
Including Avery?
Hell no. Okay. You want to know about Avery, man? I'll tell you about Avery. He was playing both sides of the fence, supplying me, my enemies, even the cleans with whatever they wanted.
He supplied the cleans with explosives?
Fireworks for a party, that and some other stuff that didn't go boom. Petty stuff, man, all of it. I mean, man, I had to give the cleans a taste of what he really had. I'm thinking about it too, man. Some of them, like that friggin' Chastity, think she's so holy. But she's no better than anybody else. But things are coming, man. Great things are coming.
I ought to take you out now. Do the world a favor.
Try it, man. Just try it. I got this space wired. I could incinerate you before you got anywhere near me.
Back off, kid.
Yeah, back up, kid.
So yeah, there's that. Nothing too useful from Blood McGrath, although he does seem to indicate that Brian Avery's a little bit of a wheeler-dealer, kind of playing arms merchant to both sides of the gang war here. Hey, did we ever take a look around the alley? I don't believe we did.
Some sort of demilitarized zone has been established in this alley between the headquarters of the Cleans and the Deadlies. That doesn't prevent them from hurling dirty looks and epithets across the space, however, and air is charged enough here to make the hair stand up on the back of your neck, as if just before an electrical storm.
Alright, well, we get some unique dialogue from the Deadly Seven if we talk to them before we have conversed with the members of the Clean Machine, so we're gonna go hang out with the Deadlies first.
The front room of the Deadlies clubhouse, where they attempt to impress upon visitors that they don't give a damn. Maybe it's the foot table, or the furniture covered with skins from endangered species. The ultimate statement seems to be as glaring as the neon sign. The Deadlies consider themselves the garish light of the world.
Now, the neon sign is pretty cool, but I can't say I'm really down with the whole, furs of endangered species thing. Oh well. Who's this on the couch?
Electric Sex is gazing out the window into the alley. Her look suggests that she's done it all and is looking for something more.
As you might imagine, Electric Sex is the representative of lust. Sounds like someone who should be, fun conversation.
I see you've been making friends fast around here. Come, let me get a good look at you.
Yeah, apparently Electric Sex's talking animation involves her repeatedly whipping out a boob at us. I'm probably going to have to edit in some sort of censor mark for that. Well, moving along.
You're really taking a chance. You know, promiscuity is a one-way ticket to a dark afterlife these days.
Oh, open your minds. What are you holding on to that old righteousness for? What'll it get you? Listen, we're all in for it. And this is our one chance to catch a little bit of heaven while we still can.
We've still got a few more things to finish up in this plane before we're ready to face the consequences.
Suit yourself.
I gotta say, she makes a pretty strong case.
Maybe we could talk. If you guys actually did something around here besides gawking like a couple of kids on a field trip.
Working on it.
In clothes that are stylishly funky, this well-coiffed young man has beady eyes that never seem to quit flicking around the room. It seems like he's checking out people's shoes, their watches, their jewelry, even though the stuff he's wearing is obviously top of the line.
That is Dick Covett, whose name is a none too subtle way of pointing out that he is the rep for envy around here.
Nice belt you got on there.
Nice spiked pauldrons.
Nice belt?
That's why I love him. He's such a fashion plate.
No, seriously, where'd you get it?
He stole it from somebody's laundry basket. We figured anybody who would wash a leather belt didn't deserve it.
No, really? What did you pay for it?
Look, how about we resist beating you up for being weird, and you give us some information for free?
You don't scare me. The Deadleys risk eternal damnation every day. You think I'm scared of you? Although those are pretty wicked-looking kick boots you've got on. I might be willing to chat in return for you giving me those.
My bet is he doesn't know anything, do you, kid?
What's your point? Is that shirt a Senor Millardo?
See, he's too busy trying to score all the time. Come on, let's move on.
And we can't actually give him our boots. Oh well. And over on the left we have Laura Prophet, who I think represents greed. We'll have a look at Laura.
A smooth-talking, risk-taking, hacker-finagler, wheeler-dealer who sleeps with one eye open and one ear cocked for the sound of change. She's street-smart. It's just that the street is Wall Street. Get lost. I only talk to money. Money, money, money. You two don't look like money. You look like a not-for-profit enterprise.
Well, we won't be getting anything out of her anytime soon. What with us having a whole $1,000 to our name. Okay, that's the way out to Gang Alley. There's somewhere else around here that I want to have a look at. Where's the door? There we are. And here's a back room where we find two more members of the Deadly Seven. On the right, we have Barbara Backus.
A plump, boozy young woman avoids the glares of the young man lounging on the sofa. The smell of gin surrounds her.
Oh, I should check out the room, too.
Where the real business of the Deadleys is conducted. Drinking, lounging, listening to death rock at levels guaranteed to make your ears bleed, and watching illegal porno vids.
Well, they know how to party, I'll give them that. Anyway, how's Barbara doing?
You wouldn't be packing something I can hit on, would you?
What are you talking about? Hit what?
A little drink, a dust buster, a phlegm cutter. I've got the vermouth, the bitters, a dozen fruit juices, everything but the gin.
Not our problem, girlie. Do your own shopping.
Rachel, no call to be rude.
I've learned that lesson. That lazy bastard Langlo volunteered to get me a bottle when he saw me about to exhaust my last fifth, except he's hardly moved from that sofa to get it.
He's got the hots for you?
If you can call it hot. What's he think any woman would see in him? He says he wants me, but he don't try too hard to get me.
Well, we're all worried about violence, aren't we? Wait a minute, aren't you worried about violence with the Deadly Seven? She's one of the Deadly Seven. We're in their clubhouse. Well, we'll just assume that was supposed to read Clean Machine.
Help us out, and we'll enroll you in the Beers of the World Club.
Rachel, that has absolutely nothing to do with the question I just prompted.
Ooh, I'm crazy for Angor steam. Just the right mix of pale and bitter. Damn straight there could be violence. Blood McGrath could do the psycho at any moment. Dick Covett would die if somebody were wearing nicer shoes than he was, and I might throttle Lecter if she recommends one more diet course or sends the cops over here again looking for my juice.
Why stay so close to each other? Why not move away?
Let them win. This is our home too. And don't think we haven't tried to make peace. A few months ago we had a sit down. Idea was to eat a big meal together and work out our problems. We were at each other's throats. Whole thing ended with us throwing food at each other and Blood McGrath threatening to burn the Cleany's house down.
How terrible.
At least I stole Stephen Benevolus's smokes.
A Cleany smokes? Seems out of character.
He doesn't. They were a peace offering from Prophet, and Stefan was too polite not to smoke them. You sure you don't have a shot of something on you?
I'm afraid not. This must be Langwo.
Reclining on an old couch. From the looks of things, the couch was new when he first sat down.
A fat guy on a couch, never moves, got a big sandwich. You might think he'd be the representative of gluttony, but that's actually Barbara. Langwo is sloth.
Hey, how's it hanging?
I love Langwo.
What are you, on guard duty or something?
Huh? Oh, I get it. Right, man, right. I'm keeping an eye on things. Used to be a holovision here, man. Right where you're standing.
So, you see a lot of what goes on around here then. Maybe you could answer a few questions.
Go ahead, man. Fire away. It's cool. I wasn't doing nothing anyhow. Just sitting around trying to think where I could get a still for Barbara.
A still?
Yeah, man. She likes to juice it a little bit, but I don't care. Makes her look kind of sexy, you know? So, like, I thought if she had her own still, man, she'd look like even more so, man. So that's what I want to do, man, is get her a still. Put it right here next to the couch. We could talk.
Simmer down there a minute, Speedo. You gotta answer some questions. The way you're planted on that couch, I figure you know something about the comings and goings of this place. I figure you could tell us something about Brian Avery.
Huh? Oh, yeah, Brian. I know Brian. Wow, I mean, like, I know some things about Brian, but I can't talk to you about him right now, man. I gotta scope out the still situation.
What? Look, do you even have any idea where to get a still?
No, man, that's the problem. I mean, I'd have to get up and go do some hunting or something, I guess.
You'd have to get up.
Look, if we get you a still, will you tell us about Brian?
You'll find me a still?
If you'll talk.
We're talking assembled, right? I mean, you know, ready to go?
Yes, yes.
Cripes, we better go find this thing before he asks us to throw in a sandwich machine.
And looking for the still is actually a legitimate fetch quest. This is something we can actually do. And in fact, we'll need to.
You got the still yet, man? No. Look, don't interrupt me, man. I'm thinking.
You know, in addition to being the embodiment of sloth in the Deadly Seven, the way Langwo just kind of sits around all the time, eternally eating his sandwich and his voice and everything. You know, he's sluggish, he's got the munchies, and that voice, he has got to be a champion-level stoner. Anyway, enough of that. I think this is where I need to go next. Yes, Dolph's room. Can we go in? I think Gideon's a little stuck on the scenery there. Maybe now we can get into the... Damn it, people. Into the room. Yeah, the pathing kind of screws things up sometimes in hell.
The meticulous condition of the place might make you think that Vanity is a neat fellow. The canopy bed might make you think he's somewhat prissy. Go with the canopy bed.
I like the way the narrator just straight up pronounced it Vanity. What about the computer here?
Dolph Vanity's system is logged on.
Got a hell of a big screen there. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the coolest of them all? Restricted access to this system. Enter password now. Okay. Password. Password identification negative. Access denied, loser. Get the hell off my system. Fine. Alright. Well, I think we've done about enough for one day. Let me just get back out to Gang Alley. Next time, we're going to have a couple of missions ahead of us. We've got to find a still for Langlo, so he'll provide us with some dirt about Brian Avery. We're going to have to continue seeing what dirt we can dig up on Dolph Vanity for Christopher Modesta, who also seems to have information about Brian Avery. What else? Well, of course, we're going to have to also go out and head across the alley and talk to all the various members of the Clean Machine, because we do still have the ultimate goal here of getting Chastity out of the gang life. So we'll have a pretty big pile of submissions on our plate for next time, which is part of why the Gang Alley stretch of the game is so annoying to me. But you know, we've started meeting the giant cast of this stretch of the game, and that's a start anyway. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, as always. This is Un, and I'll see you next time. Take care.